everyone. Just wanted to go through the rigs that Barry and I have been using on this trip, and I'm sure a lot of you would have seen it used at catfishing lakes that you go to, and quite a lot of people, as I was before, can find this rig quite intimidating. Looking at it here, from the lead up to the hook, there's a lot of components, so it intimidates in a way that you think, oh, it might be tangle happy, but it is actually quite tangle free when fished correctly. So just to go through the rig very quickly, starting from the reel, these are an actual surf reel. A lot of people, when they go catfishing, will tend to use a big pit reel or a spod reel, which will do a job for you, but they're not ideal. They've not got the clutch capacity to be able to play big fish on. So what you really want to be using is a big bait runner reel, or like I'm using here, a big spinning reel. So this is actually a surf reel. This is the Sonic 8000, and it's got a real good clutch mechanism on it. So you can sort of within a turn go from being quite free spool, which you want in terms of resistance, to being a real tight clutch, which you're going to need, especially on snaggy waters like we're fishing today. The rod is from Catfish Pro. It's a 12 foot, 4.5 pound test curve rod. That's probably the minimum you want to be using in terms of catfish rods, at 4.5 pound test curve, and you can get them right up to sort of 6 pound test curves. Again, for the snaggier waters that you're going to be fishing. I've got 25 pound fluorocarbon main line on. Again, probably the minimum you want to be using, but you can fish up to the sort of 80 to 100 pound braid. Again, all down to personal preference. So again, like I said, the rod's 12 foot. First thing you'll come to is the lead. Important to use a heavy lead when you're winch fishing. This is a 4.5 ounce lead, and you think I'm only casting this probably 30-40 yards. It's not going. I'm not trying to cast to the moon like you think I might be. And the reason you want to use a heavy lead, just pause it there. So the lead we're using is a 4.5 ounce lead. Reason being it's heavier lead than what you might think to use on a small lake like we're fishing today, is even if you're only fishing 30 or 40 yards, with the winch system, it can pull the lead out of position. So you really want a heavy lead to hold the rig in place when you're winching backwards and forwards. That's attached to the main line. Again, it's fluorocarbon, but if you're using a braided main line, you really want to be using, I mean, these are the Catfish Pro ceramic run rings. Very similar to the sort of the ring you'd have on the eye of your rod, and that just helps sort of making sure that you're not going to cause any damage to the main line. We then have a buffer bead or a cork ball, just something there to stop the lead, because the rings on these are quite big, to running over and tangling on your buffer bead. That's then connected to a very stiff tubing with a poly ball at either end. Your main line runs through that, and then if I show you very quickly, that can pull off of there. Then your main line runs through there, through another piece of stiff tubing, which is your tipper, up to an 80 pound Catfish Pro swivel. That all fits in there. Now again, like I said, it does look very cumbersome, it does look very tangle free, but the stiffness of this tubing helps it not to tangle. And then to that, we are using a very stiff, it's actually a very stiff fluorocarbon. This is 80 pound, or you can use 50 pound fluorocarbon. Again, the stiffness helps it keep it away from everything else, rather than maybe using braid. Up to a size 4.0 Catfish Pro hook. That's actually a circle hook. Again, reason being, we're not using sort of like a wide gape hook or anything like that. It's fishing live baits. It helps keep the bait on for one, but also when you're fishing sort of resistance free like we are, it helps pull the hook into the corner of the catfish mouth, so you get better hook holds. You may have noticed this as well. This is just an added attraction. That is a rattler. What that does, catfish have very poor eyesight, but their other senses, smell and to vibration, are very good. So that just gives us an extra attraction there. That's stopped by 2 beads, and you probably only want it 3 or 4 inches from the hook. And again, that's stopped in place because if you don't have a bead there, what would happen is when that's in the water, that will then run up and be not as effective because it'll be up near your swivel. So let's just let some line out very quickly. So in essence, that's really how you want to fish it. Like I said, it's running, so when that hits when that's on the bottom of the lake, you'll open your bail arm, a bit like an adjustable zig really. That will then, just take the bead out of the way. That will be on the deck like that. And you'll be fishing sort of there. And then the surface of the water, you want it to be sort of like the palm of my hand is the surface of the water. So that's how the rig will sit in the water. You don't want it sitting on the surface like that. You want it sitting on the surface of the water there like that. And the reason it's called a tipper wig is because then that, if the surface of the water is here, it's fishing like that. It's very important not to have this length of line here longer than the rig itself. So, I mean, that's about half. You could probably have another couple of inches on that and you'll be fine. But anything longer, the fish might then be able to swim around and tangle itself on your main line. You want it to sort of be about there. And it can sort of fish at 360 degrees all the way around, like so. So that is the tipper rig.